Hello everybody, it's Andrew here, and today one of my guild mates and a lot of basilers, particularly the dual blades of, MapleStory, have inspired me to make a new series and I'm going to call it, what am I going to call it? Endgame Gear. That sounds good. Endgame Gear FAQs. And I think I'm going to split it up into two different categories. One for just general gear like equips and stuff, and the other for weapons, and only for weapons because I believe that weapons are extremely important and poorly explained, and I'm probably going to poorly explain it, but I'm going to do my best to explain it well. So let's get started. So for subclasses of every class, you will have a sub-weapon. It just so happens that the dual blade sub-weapon is basically a second weapon in the respect that you can scroll it, cube it. Well, you can cube every sub-weapon. I mean, scroll it and enhance it. So if you're another class, you don't have to worry too much about this. But undisputedly, the Sweetwater Katara is the best Katara you can get in this game as of now. And I'll show you, I'll walk over to what's his face. Here he is. So basically what you want to do for a Sweetwater Katara is you want to scroll it with the +8s or +10s or +9s or whatever scroll you prefer. If you're really pedantic about it getting a +10 dagger, Katara, then you can get the Japanese Katara thing. I think that has 8 slots unhammered and 10 slots hammered. So yeah, if you really want that one scroll value, then that's the one to aim for. And then you come over to this guy and you click him and you click transpose an item. You put your 140, 150 item here, and you put the Sweetwater item here. You click OK, and hopefully it works. It does take a very long time. It took me 60 tries for my dagger, but finally it worked. It took me like 1 with my Katara, so I guess that's kind of okay. But yeah, I want to talk about the Sweetwater knife versus the Fafnir Damascus, and that is a huge dispute. So now we've just distinguished that Sweetwater Katara is the best for dual blades. The next thing is, how do I know what knife to choose? Do I choose a Sweetwater knife or do I choose a Fafnir? And honestly, if you are extremely pedantic about getting the perfect endgame boss attack PDR ratios, then you might want to look it up in your own time, because I'm not that kind of person. I'm pretty satisfied with the stats that I have now in regards to attack and boss and PDR. So as you can see from me hovering over my equip, you can see that I've chosen a Sweetwater knife over a Fafnir Damascus. And some of you might be thinking, why would you do that? Why would you choose a Sweetwater knife over a Fafnir? Well, one big advantage actually of a Sweetwater knife is its attack speed. So the attack speed of a Sweetwater knife is faster, whereas the attack speed of a Fafnir Damascus is just fast. So you've got one stage of free attack speed, which helps with your DPS. So even if you're a weaker dual blade, you'll still be able to keep up with the people who have Fafnir Damascuses, even if they are doing more damage per line, just because you have a faster attack speed. So that's one advantage. The second advantage is it has a higher base attack. So it has 172 base attack as opposed to 160, which is 12 attack more, and that justifies why I didn't bother to re-scroll this dagger when plus 10s came out. This dagger was scrolled with plus 8s, then transposed. So what I did was I plus 8 scrolled it, and then I put 1 star on it, and I transposed it, and then that 1 star, so for people who don't know, when you transpose an equip, you lose a star on it. So if I had 5 stars on this dagger, which I did actually, and I transposed it, it would become 4 stars, but I would still have the same amount of attack as if it had 5 stars. So basically you can get free enhancements off this, which is great because, you know, every little bit counts. So even though this was scrolled with plus 8, it still rivals the plus 10 scrolled daggers. So if I get this to 10 stars, this will be 315 attack, which is pretty damn close, if not like on par with the plus 10 Fafnir Damascuses, because of that, the transposition, and because of the higher base attack. And it also has a faster attack speed. And the other thing about Sweetwater is that you can get great lines of potential on it. So this one has 13% attack on the regular potential and bonus potential, giving it a total of 26% attack. And if this was a Fafnir Damascus, then those lines would be 12%, and therefore I would only have 24% total. So Sweetwater gives better potential lines than Fafnir. And as you can see, I have 275 boss, and I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, I'd like to be around maybe a bit higher, but that's totally fine. And I can replace this nib, I can recube it, I can recube this, no problem. The only reason you would buy a Fafnir, in my opinion, is for the 30% boss of your 4-set effect of your CRA set. And that's the only reason besides resale value. And it's too late for me to sell my dagger, it's too late for me to... Well, it's not too late for me to make another one, but I really can't be bothered because I've grown attached to this dagger. So I feel like it's not worth it for me to change to Fafnir, and yeah. So Fafnir is great if you feel like you jump through lots of classes, but so you can sell it and buy a weapon for another class. But honestly, I prefer the Sweetwater knife because it's got a faster attack speed, it's got the exact same base stats, as in like the 10% PDR and the 30% boss on it. And yeah, it's just, I feel like it's just a better dagger because of the faster attack speed, the better lines of potential, as opposed to the Fafnir, which is just the 30% extra boss from the set effect and the resale value. So those are the two things it really comes down to when you're buying, when you're deciding between a Sweetwater knife and a Fafnir. So keep that in mind next time you purchase one of these weapons. Yeah, that's basically it. And I just wanted to use this as a small segue into my Endgame gears frequently asked questions. I'll be doing a mini series on them and seeing if I can explain everything to you guys of like the process of upgrading and how to upgrade. But just keep in mind it's all my opinion. So yeah, I think that's it for now. Yeah, I think that's it, and keep a lookout for that series, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.